Alright, welcome to EU4. Today I'm going to play the Mamluks, and I'm going to start with the strategy as outlined by Ludi on YouTube, so I'd like to thank him for that. I'll put a link to his video in the description if I ever do get around to uploading this to YouTube. So today we're going to play the Mamluks. My primary goal is to get the Levant Turnabout achievement, which requires me to conquer the Ottomans and eliminate them from the game. But I'm also going to go for some of the other achievements. Probably going to go to form Rum and get the true Sultan of Rum achievement, which requires me to own Rome, Constantinople, and Moscow as Rum. And I might also, if I have the chance, go for the Unify Islam achievement, which requires you to own a variety of provinces in the historical Islamic world, which probably is pretty doable once we're at the power level we can form Rum. So, without further ado, I'm going to get right into it. So our first move is going to be to assign stuff to estates, as well as to deal with the various vassals that we have. So as you can see, the Mamluks were slave servants to the Ayyubid Caliphate, and eventually they were able to take over, and this is the reason that we have this very unique government type. As the Mamluks, which means we don't have to deal with heirs, we just have the same leaders over and over again, and this guy's not great, although that improved relations will help for the first few years of this game. But basically once we get new leaders, we gain these culture points, which we can then spend to get benefits based on how many provinces we have of each culture. So if we get the Circassian dude, which is who we have right now, he's not going to be very good for these other two buffs, the selling slaves and the recruit from Circassian lands. But we could take like an Egyptian guy or a Syrian or a Bedouin or something like that, and that would give us better benefits. So I'm going to separate my stacks here into sets of 12. This is something that Ludi recommended, and I'm just going to go with his recommendation there because we have 12 transports. And in my last playthrough, I did try before starting to film, and I ran into a couple issues, but the transports were not one of those issues. So we can also build ships. I'm going to build 2 more galleys. Set my rivals. Lithuania doesn't like me. Okay, that works. My last playthrough it was Aragon that didn't like me. That's fine. I guess I'll rival Lithuania. If they fall under a PU with Poland, I'll get some free power projection. So that's not too bad. We have pretty good income, so we can actually afford to hire advisors. But before we do that, I'm going to assign privileges to the estates. So we do have 30%. So last time I did this playthrough, I got this. I took the Demi one. I wouldn't recommend doing that because there are only 2 privileges that you can give to them. Well, there are 3, but one of them's just, I don't want to give them crown land, so I don't recommend taking that one. Fezan, subject of Mamluks. Khazar Ibrahim, I believe that's, where is that? Oh, that's here in Mercuria. Oh, they not Sunni? Oh, they're Coptic. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm probably going to go with this Fezan mission because we have 10 years We have a long time to do it, actually. We have 20 years to finish it. And I actually am able to diplomatically annex, or vassalize Fezzan. So we're going to go with that one, although I'm not going to get started on it right away, because I actually don't need them yet as a vassal. So we're going to assign privileges. So to the ulema, which is the clergy of the Islamic states. Alright, let's see. I'm going to give them Clerical Advisory Council. I could give them oversight. I think I'm going to give them oversight. And that's all we're going to do for now. Definitely don't want to do this one, because we're probably going to be integrating Byzantium. And I'm not really interested in having low tolerance there, although we could use that when we're ready to start converting everybody. Alright. So, I don't know if that video caught that, but that game just totally bugged out. Alright, so now we're going to go to the emirs. And we're going to give them right of council, as well as strong duchies, because we want to get that +2 diplomatic relations, as well as the liberty desire. That actually helps a little bit. And then I'm going to go ahead and give a monopoly on gemstones and the monopoly on smelting. So that'll help get that loyalty up way high. Yeah, equilibrium 79%. They do have high influence, but we should be able to manage that. If we need to, we could always revoke a privilege. So, to the merchants, we're going to give... Where's the free enterprise? And then... I like taking the light ships one. But we're going to hold off on that for now, because we're not really using our ships yet. Definitely going to give the monopoly on paper. Not going to give the textiles, though. That's quite a big chunk there. And then for the dhimmi, we're not going to give them anything, I don't believe. Yeah, I want that ulema equilibrium above 55. The dhimmi is at 35, though. It's not great. That doesn't even give them any loyalty. This one does, but it reduces the loyalty for the other two. The emirs, they're fine, but the clergy, I think I'm just gonna. I should probably go with that. I still be above 50, so we're gonna give them that privilege. That'll help that a little bit. At least the equilibrium will be a little bit higher. So I'm gonna go ahead and seize land right here at the start. This is not like something everybody does, but I like to do it because they start at 55%. I can immediately get it in, and then the equilibrium is going to start ticking up instead of down. So I always go with that, and that I also have a little cushion in case I have to sell titles or give a privilege. Like if I have to give this privilege, which gives them crown land or something like that. So now we can go ahead and hire our advisors, who are going to be cheaper. Didn't get a missionary this time, so I'm going to go with the tax modifier guy. Trade efficiency, and let me go with this guy. So now for diplomacy, the first two vassal targets, we can diplo-vassalize a lot of different countries. So basically all of these countries along here are going to be diplomatically vassalizable, as well as Fezzan and these guys. If we ally them and get them to friendly and stuff, they will also accept it, as well as the Ayyubids themselves. They would also accept it if we got them to friendly instead of neutral. So we're going to start with Medina, and Ramazan here, and the reason for that is that Medina, if they're our vassal, we'll get an event for Hejaz to integrate them, like immediately. So it'll free up a Diplo slot, basically just free land here. That also allows us to have a land connection with our vassal down there that can help us more in wars, that kind of thing. So we're immediately going to go for that, but I'm going to ally Ak Kayunlu at first. And the reason we're allying Ak Kayunlu is because the Ottomans like to ally Ak Kayunlu. And the Ottomans, okay, they have Venice as an enemy, they also have Austria. But the Ottomans are our rivals, so if we ally Ak Kayunlu, that actually will deny them the chance to have Ak Kayunlu as a rival, which makes it harder for them to have an ally right on our border. That makes things more difficult for us in wars. So we're going to go ahead and preemptively grab that from the Ottomans. The last thing we're going to do is revoke our guarantee on Cyprus. The reason for that is because Cyprus the event will still fire as long as I have high relations with them, and I don't really want them wasting a Diplo slot, so we're going to revoke that. I'm going to go ahead and set it to speed 4 for the time being. And we're building our troops up. Now we are going to go for Ramazan as our second new vassal. So I'm going to go ahead and royal marry them. And we are going to try our darndest to start a war with Byzantium. Okay, that fort is not garrisoned. Okay, Constantinople is garrisoned. So we're going to try to start a war with Byzantium right at the start here. We're going to no CB them. And hopefully we can grab that fort on before it gets demothballed. But we might not be able to hit that. So we'll see. If anything, we can get it with a very low number of people in it and make that war quicker. So move that up there. Now, nifty information that we need to have is that I can vassalize these folks while at war, as long as I've already made the alliance with them. So it actually may be worth waiting until the next year. Fadal is already our vassal, so yes. Jazz, yes. To ally these folks. So I'm going to ally them. And ally them. Check to see if this fort is still there. It is, and now 1st of January. Declare war, no casus belli. And we're gonna have to fight them. So we do not. Alright, when are they gonna get there? Arrives on 1st March. Okay, so that's too late. We are going to go to Constantinople instead. And I probably should have put a leader on them before I sent them over there. So now we're going to improve our relations with these folks by using all the different actions we can. I'm kicking myself because I didn't put a leader on that stack, but they'll still win that battle. It'll just be a little longer for us to win that siege. So now we're going to go grab the rest of our army and put a leader on this. Yeah, in my last playthrough I got lucky and got a siege pip, but his 2-star general's not bad. He might be useful against the Ottomans. So now we're going to influence them. And we're going to improve. I have to take a loan here, that's okay. Now, it's important that I avoid attacking the Byzantine fleet. And the reason for that is that we're going to want to use their fleet when we attack the Ottomans. So we really just want to keep them as scared as possible of our fleet so that they don't attack it. Now the Ottomans usually don't. Yes, they've got this fort mothballed on that fort. Okay, good. So when we go to war with the Ottomans, we're going to want to get those forts as soon as possible. We're also going to improve our relations with Cyprus, because we actually do want to have good relations with them. I feel less bad about not putting a general on that army, knowing that he's not going to be a siege general anyway. Alright, we're getting some events. I can use a piety action. I'm not going to do that. Alright, what scholar do I have? I have merchants +1. Can get admin tech -5%. Really the only one on here I'd like is maybe Jafari. +10% shock damage, or the dev cost. Other than that, I think this merchants +1 is pretty good. Helps with our Mamluk trade ideas, so I haven't actually looked at the ideas. Mamluk ideas aren't bad, but they're not great either, so we're going to hold off on accepting that mission for now. And we're going to send this over to Moria. So, you're going to get off the boat here at Moria. Actually at Corinth, and then we'll move over to Moria. And I'm going to take my navy as soon as it's done unloading, and I'm going to move them back to Rashid. Or I'm going to move them, yeah, I'm going to move them into the port at Corinth as soon as I seize the province. Because remember, I'm trying not to engage the Byzantine fleet. We'll pay for some. For like us more. Alright, so. Now, when we go to war with the Ottomans, it's going to be very important. Actually, I'll keep them out there for now to help with the sieges. It's going to be very important that we put the navy right here in the Sea of Marmara. So that's very important. I'm actually not going to touch the Byzantine army if I can avoid it. No reason to kill them if they're not going to attack me. They're about to be our buddy. So Medina is at 199, so we can ask them to become our vassal. And we went, that's good news, very good news. And they're very close now. Custodian of the Holy Cities, that's great news. So, what our peace deal? Oh, Serbia's in this war. Our peace deal is going to be seizing Athens, as well as vassalizing Byzantium. So I'm going to see, okay, so that's why we haven't fought Serbia, is that we have no access to Serbia. I doubt that the Turks will give us access. Yes, they will not. So until the Turks give them access, we're gonna have no way of reaching oh, well, there we go. And the Turkish army is on the move. They've garrisoned these forts. I wonder what they're planning. They may be planning to go to war. Set my attitude with Cyprus to friendly. I'm gonna leave Byzantium alone for right now. We really just need to get Serbia out of the war as quickly as possible, and once we take that fort, that shouldn't be too hard. And I believe I've just sieged their gold mine. Yeah, that's the gold mine, so they're going to be without that income for right now. They're not going to accept it yet. I'll get the would result in vassalization. Let's see if they'll leave yet. Nope, almost there though. So that's Ramazan, don't really care about them. You can start improving with Fezzan. And with our first annexable vassal, which is probably going to be Battle here. They're really small. Just gobble them up. Alright, Moria fell. And as soon as the Serbian capital falls, we should be able to get them out. It's okay that we're beating up the Athenian navy, because we're actually not going to vassalize Athens. We're going to annex them directly. We got to take this fort. Drat. That was horrible timing. Okay, so Ottomans is at war with Aragon and Naples. Aragon is attacking Tunis. Okay, so that's what happened. Alright, so that could have been worse. Now we should probably be able to get Serbia out. Yes, we can. We can get them out for money, too, which is great. Now we're going to go back down here. And I made a tiny mistake there. I should have waited until I left Serbian territory so that my guys didn't get black flagged. But I believe... Okay, they didn't. So I'll have to send them across in my fleet. And, okay, good. So they're gonna flee. having naval supremacy in this game is extremely convenient, but even more so if you are in the next patch where they're buffing navies a little bit. Looks like. I'll stick there for now, help with the siege progress. I cannot assault the fort though. He's gonna rise up. Oh, I forgot to boost my stability. That should kick that. Yes, that's going down. Excellent. They probably didn't have enough time to... Yeah, they didn't have enough time to fully garrison the fort. So while we're waiting here, I'm going to prepare the peace deal. Okay, we already have it prepared. Right now we're at -80, but that's because we haven't yet won the siege of Constantinople. Or should I say re-won the siege of Constantinople. Now I'm going to move my fleet out of there because I don't want to kill the Byzantine ships. Which is exactly what will happen as soon as I take the fort. It's also helpful to get them repaired a little bit before the next war. Dog deer. I wonder if they would accept. Oh, they could even. Solid relations with them. We're going to try to take over as many people as possible with vassalization. Repay those loans. Now the Ottomans being at war makes this a little bit more difficult because we're gonna wait for them to not have those forts garrisoned now. But it also helps a little bit because we don't have to stress so much about the timing. Alright, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna take some money, and then I'm gonna repay their debt anyway, but nobody will care because they're Orthodox. And now what we're gonna do is immediately give them Athens. Help lower their liberty desire a little bit, and we're gonna pay off their debt. Where's pay off debt? Oh, they don't have any loans. France is fighting England and Castile. Okay. I don't really want to placate. I don't really need to, but because the Ottomans are at war, so there are two options here. We could go after the Ottomans now while they're in the middle of a war, but then we have to siege the forts, or we could wait until they're out of the war and they've got the forts mothballed. So, Timmy doesn't like us, that's okay. I think I'm going to bide my time a little bit. It looks like they're winning the war that they're in, but they can't possibly be doing great in the naval situation. Let's take a look. So Ottomans are much fewer troops than us, fewer force limit, and then what's their navy look like? They are also smaller navy than us by 1 ship. But we also have these vassals, so naval supremacy won't be an issue if we go to war with them now. So I guess what it comes down to is mercs. Do we have a good merc general? Oh, this guy. He's a 1 siege. We're not. He's pretty expensive, but we can afford it. So I'm thinking that in a second we're gonna have to go after them. In the meantime, we might start integrating battle here. If we can, we probably can't for another 10 years. I will take the free stability. Yeah, we have to wait another 4 years to annex them. That's okay. We should be exactly at our diplo limit, and if we're not, okay, we are. So, as soon as we annex somebody else, we can grab a new vassal. So, I was going to go for Dalkadir, but it looks like they're being eaten by Kayunlu. Actually, Karaman might be our next target, so I'm going to go ahead and fabricate on them. So, how are Turks doing? So the Turks are 25 ships, 26k soldiers, 28k manpower. So we could definitely beat them. I don't plan on developing in Damascus, so I'm not going to do that. Alright, that's actually very big. Tech 4, what tech are they at? 3? Alright, that's enough of an advantage that we should probably press it, even if they're not. Alright, good. Byzantium is in debt. Now they're loyal. It's all coming together.